Hello and welcome to the first part in my series about my new road bike, my dream build for a reasonable price. That's how I'm calling it. I'm gonna make a few videos about it, choosing it, this part, building it, unboxing, etc., riding, reviews. I don't know what's coming up, but I will take you along this journey. I was inspired by people like Luke from Trace Fellow, Steven from Oz Cycles, Stefan from Caro's House, and so on. I think it's a cool subject and maybe other people also want to watch it. So in the first part, oops, too fast. How can I choose, or how did I choose my Yoeleo R12 frame? And to understand that question, I have to explain why I want to upgrade at all. So this is my road bike. It's a Bianchi Intenso 2015 edition, and it's a full-on endurance comfortable carbon frame. I've been riding it a lot, but I bought it with the idea that I would ride about 2,000 kilometers per year, and now I'm riding way more and I'm riding a lot faster, and I generally also want to upgrade, like N+1 bikes. So there's a few little things about this bike that I started not liking. First of all is the huge head tube here. As you can see, I run my stem fully slammed and at a minus 17 degree angle and I still find this a very comfortable position, and I would like to go a bit lower still, to have a more racy position. Also, the feeling of this road bike is very sort of soft and I guess comfortable. And the aesthetics, I'm not super fond of the aesthetics from Bianchi. I think they put way too much stuff on top of the frame, and they try to, just have some graphics everywhere they can, which I don't like. Also, I don't think it's worth it to upgrade this bike even more than I kind of already did, but I would like to run deeper rims, but I don't think it's worth it to do it on this bike. So I decided I'll go for an entirely new bike. So my dream bike, what should it be? Basically a bike that I want to ride. So I took a long time to think about this. Basically, I want to be able to ride in that more racy position, so a lower stack that's required, but that shouldn't be too hard. I want to have a direct race feeling while riding as well, so a stiffer frame, like a more direct feel with the road and with sort of the power that I put through the pedals. I really love the look of full internal cables. Once you acquire this taste, I'm afraid that all the bikes that don't have this, with the spaghetti underneath the frame, it just looks messy, and I want full internal cables. I want to have disc brakes, of course, to easily have carbon rims that I don't have to worry too much about braking in the wet, wearing out my rims, etc. Of course, I want the aero looks, also the aero advantage, but just that sort of aesthetic. I really like that aesthetic. It's also more important for me than lightweight here in Flanders, where it's mostly flat anyway. And also want to decide on all the little details. Like if I buy a new bike, I want it to be pretty much perfect, right? I don't want to make sort of compromises too much. And then last but not least, not be too expensive. I'm unfortunately not a dentist, so I couldn't find a frame that sort of fit all these things, mostly not within the price. So I took away that last thing and I thought, okay, what's sort of my aim? Like if I had no budget, I would buy the Look blade, as you see it here, with this aesthetic, these colors. I like this look. But unfortunately, that last line there, not be too expensive, this didn't work. So the only option I have is to build the bike myself and to find a frame. So there's a bunch of frames. So you have the Chinese frames on AliExpress. You have these Western frames that I found. So the Chinellis. Why didn't I go for one of these Chinellis? Well, no internal frames and also nothing of reviews to be found. Only from Chinelli themselves, who says it handles great, whatever. Then Specialized Sprint, that's fine, but it's quite polarizing. Also aluminium and so on. The Palace 3, that's a beautiful bike, but again, no internal cables, and also it wasn't out yet. So that left me with Chinese frames. So there's a bunch of Chinese manufacturers of frames, and I contacted them. I contacted Yoeleo, of course. I contacted Dengfu. I contacted iCan, and I contacted 1010 Sport, all to inquire about their full internal aero road bike frames. And in the end, Yoeleo gave me the best answers to my questions. I felt the most confidence when talking to them, and I felt like they sort of cared most about their product. So I went with them. The aesthetic of the frame, at first I was like, that's like a weird frame, but looking at it a little bit longer and more, the look really sort of grew on me. And yeah, it kind of looks a bit like the Blade or the Trek Madone or the Bianchi Ultra. This sort of where the seat stays sort of pass over the seat tube and onto the top tube. That sort of look. You find it in other brands too. But it's not this classic aero look with the dropped seat stays and the flat top tube. But actually, if you look at the angle of the seat stays, I try to match this. Try to match the wheel and as closely as possible. The perspective is different, but if you have a look at the angle of the seat stay, it's relatively similar. It doesn't look as low because the top tube sort of slopes down, etc., but it's quite similar. So I ordered the Yoeleo R12, and I have some other videos coming up. The next one is about all the parts that I ordered. So I have everything up to the like every little detail I already have lying about except the frame. So the next video will be about all the parts, and then I will also have an unboxing video about the Yoeleo frame, and then building videos, etc. So hopefully I'll see you in other parts, and till then.